All right.
Well,
Yeah. Let's try that again.
okay, because your face was about 15 minutes late on that one.
Yep.
All right, try it again. You can count us down, boss.
Okay. Three, two, one.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, that was our best one in months.
Right? I think we're getting better at this.
Yeah, we're basically professionals.
Well, I mean, sure. If
Hmm.
professionals sucked, then we'd be professional.
Well, all professionals suck because
Well,
you've gotta suck sometime. You can't be good your whole time. If you're good the whole time and you never suck, you're not real, man.
yeah, that's that. I like it. That
Hmm.
actually makes sense.
Yeah, most things I say do make sense.
Yeah. So, how are things down in the Hudson or the River Falls end of the world?
Cold.
Sounds about right.
How about the north?
Colder.
Bet. No, you're probably right.
Well, I don't know what you guys got, but it's been cold.
It hit 7 degrees today.
We might have almost been a little warmer, but I'm not sure. I'm no weatherman.
Neither am I. What do we got? What do we got on tap today?
You can go first. I'll let you ask your question first.
Oh, okay, because I only have one.
Well, right, and I only could have more than one, but I'll limit it to one.
Oh, well, you can limit it to three if you want.
All right.
Any whoozy, do you have before I ask it? Do you have like a map or anything like that in your view?
No,
Okay,
I
good.
mean, not really.
All right, so picture this in your brain hole:
Okay.
the lower 48 states. So all 50
Yep.
states except for not the other two.
Right.
If you were to find the exact center of all of them, where do you think it would be?
Ooh.
1 point if you can guess the state, a million points if you guess the name of the town in that state.
Oh. The exact middle. I mean, it has to be between, I would say, between Illinois and Missouri, somewhere in that region, because it's the Midwest, so it would make sense that it's the midpoint.
When I first heard the question, I guessed Nebraska, and I was wrong because I was too far north.
Okay. I'm gonna go Missouri.
You're really,
You were
really,
too.
you're
Oh, is it
close.
Kansas? Is it
It is
Kansas?
Kansas. Lebanon can
Uh,
Oh, I just told you.
okay.
You were you gonna guess Lebanon?
I was not. I only know like three Kansas cities, not to be confused by Kansas City.
Wait, how many towns in Kansas can you name?
Um, is it Wichita somewhere in there?
That's one.
My mom went to college in Kansas, somewhere down there. Is it? I don't. She went to Heston. I don't know if Heston's an actual town.
I don't know either, but I'm gonna vote nay.
Okay. There's a few other ones. Like, I mean, technically, Kansas City is in both Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas,
Yeah.
I believe.
Do you know the capital of Kansas?
Uh, I should. What is the capital of Kansas?
I, I'm pretty sure it's Topeka.
Oh, it is Topeka. Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah, I did know that.
Whenever I hear that, I think of like Tropicana orange juice.
Ooh, good stuff.
All right, what do you got for me, boss man?
Okay, so this has been a hot topic in between me and my roommate, and we like to have our room like freezing cold, but we don't turn the heat on at all. So right now it's like 55 degrees, maybe 60 degrees in my room, and
Bruh,
it's amazing.
you're making me cold.
Okay, you've already answered the question. Here's the question. Do you like your room slash house warmer or colder?
All right, so let me break it down for you. We have one of the stupid digital thermostats, and it
Yeah.
is set at 69 degrees.
Yeah, right.
That is the ideal number and the ideal temperature.
It is a nice temperature.
It could be a touch warmer, in my opinion. I think I could go for a 72,
Right.
but I
Makes
have to
sense.
pay for heat.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's what it always was when I was living back home. It was always set at that 1 below 70.
Yeah.
So, but now my reasoning behind it being cold is I sleep so much better when it's colder than when it's freakishly warm.
Well, okay, so if the outer temperature is cold, but I'm warm, that's when I sleep the best.
Right, right.
Like I'll give you an example. Best night's sleep I ever had was at camp. So it's like 40 degrees outside in our cabin. But I had a bunk buddy and a big blanket and we were cozy. And I've never slept better in my life.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That was a
Well,
good year.
I won't mention Bradley's name too, so he's not embarrassed, but
Nah, no, of course not.
mhm.
No, but I agree with you. If it's cold on the outside, but you're really warm under the covers, you're good to go.
And as long as your feet are warm but not sweating.
Yeah, right, right.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
Wait,
That's based.
I got something else for you.
Okay. Okay.
So the NFC and AFC championship games are this weekend.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, if the 49ers win the NFC championship and also win the Super Bowl and Brock Purdy plays every snap, I will buy you a Brock Purdy jersey.
Bruh.
But that is only if the Bengals win the Super Bowl or don't win the Super Bowl. If the Bengals win the Super Bowl, then you owe me a Joe Burrow jersey.
What?
See, I'm just trying to get a free jersey because I like my odds.
What, you don't think Brock Purdy's gonna win? You don't think Brock Purdy's gonna win the Super Bowl?
I'm with Mel Stanley. I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl.
So in a way, we would all lose because Mel Stanley would be right.
Yep. Yeah, we would in every scenario someone loses because if the Eagles lose, well
No.
then Mel Stanley no, listen to this. If the Eagles lose, Mel Stanley loses. If the Bengals lose, well then I lose. And if the 49ers lose, then you lose. And if the Chiefs lose, then we're all going to be happy. So the Chiefs can lose. I'm okay with that. I hate the Chiefs.
Well, I agree. I mean, I'm not a Chiefs hater, but I honestly think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. But that's just my personal opinion.
Nope. Patrick Mahomes' leg is going to fall off.
That happened last week, and he still won.
Yeah, well, it's going to fall the rest of the way off.
Oh, I see.
You don't want to
Huh.
hope someone
Well,
gets
what?
injured, but I won't be mad if he does.
Okay, so back to this bet. Are
Oh,
we
yeah.
talking about an actual jersey, or are we talking about just a jersey shirt?
I'll do an actual jersey,
Oh,
but
dude,
only it has to go the other way though, because if the Bengals win, then you owe me a
well,
jersey.
that's what I'm saying. I'm okay if it's a jersey shirt.
All right, fine, then I am too.
Okay, bet.
Bet
I do that.
you can have the future. I don't even know who to compare him to because he's not
The
compared to.
future GOAT. Oh, he's the future GOAT. He is
Oh,
one of a
Joe
kind.
Burrow is the next Tom Brady. Change my mind.
But Brock Purdy is the next Brock Purdy.
No, Brock Purdy is the next
Uh,
Joe Burrow.
and in a roundabout way, Jimmy Garoppolo will end up winning the Super Bowl
Yeah,
because it's a messed up world.
if Jimmy G plays any snaps this season still, I will die.
Okay, wait. But you said Brock Purdy has to play all the snaps.
Yep.
I want to add one scenario in here. What if they blow the Eagles out by 75 and then Brock Purdy does not play the fourth quarter?
Okay, if they put Jimmy in because they're winning, then you'll have an exception.
Okay, good.
But
I just wanted to cover all my ends.
I don't think they'll be blasting the Eagles. Not by
No,
that
I don't
much.
think so. But there's a world that it could happen.
Yeah, well, there's also a world where Patrick Mahomes is a pitcher for the Minnesota Twins.
Or a point guard for the Duke Blue Devils.
No, you didn't listen. He was the point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
You weren't paying attention.
I was more talking about when he wanted to play for Duke.
Yeah, but
That sort of
when
thing.
he slapped the floor.
Exactly, at Cameron Indoor.
Yeah.
But
you thought I
anyway.
didn't listen to the same podcast you do.
Yeah.
Now that I've totally derailed your conversation, what else did you want to talk about?
I don't really got anything more.
Okay. Do we have anything on tap for the rest of this fine podcast, or are we just gonna leave the people with 9 some minutes of garbageness?
Well, I mean, 9 minutes probably would be ideal. That's probably what everyone's hoping we're gonna leave them with. But in this case, we're gonna torture them for probably like 25 or 50 more minutes.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think people don't like our hour-long shows, but you know what? They're more
That
fun, so suck on that.
we'll keep them at 50 minutes then. Eat that.
Hmm.
So I think we're gonna go to is it the Beastie Boys we're going to next? Is that what
Well,
is that?
well, you see, I've got Mr. Mark from Boston, and he wanted to relive the past a little bit. Some story about his grandpa, and he had some friends that were going to help tell a story.
All right. I guess we'll zoom on over to those fellas.
Oh, I see what you did there. Zoom on over. And so I'm Mike from Boston, and I was thinking that maybe I could maybe partake of some, some historicness, don't you think?
You don't even know anything about history? Come on, man.
I would like to think that I do, and I would like to also think that I'm very capable of running audio equipment and not really screwing up how the things sound.
Well, we both know how I feel about that. You're terrible at positive. You don't even remember what.
I appreciate that. Actually, I do remember because I'm Mark from Boston, and all I ever have is Mark from Boston baked beans. I had baked beans for lunch. Boston baked beans. What did you have for lunch, there, Mister John?
My name's Jim. You know I had like 6 smokes. That's what I had.
Uh, how is that actually appetizing? Because isn't that just like air mixed with particles of debris and wood?
Yeah, you're right. But you would be amazed at how wonderful it tastes. Your lungs just burn from it. That's why I sound the way I do.
You will not believe how terrible that you sound right now. You sound like you like.
I should probably leave the outing.
You need to lay off more than that. So I was thinking, my great grandfather was he was also Mark from Boston. And he was a really great guy. And actually, I think I missed a couple of greats on that one, but he was a very important character in history. And I think I wanted to tell
Hurry
you.
up, man. I want but why was his what did he do? Why was he so great?
So his name was Mark Revere, and he so one time there was this really oppressive British prime minister kind of guy. You know what I'm talking about.
So I just wrote it off.
Yeah. So this guy, his name was I think his name was Mark, and he was King Mark the Third. You know him.
Yeah, he was like my fourth uncle twice removed on my mother's side of the family who died 4 years ago.
And no, and then so Mr. Mark the Third, he was the King of England, and the King of England he kind of owned this one of the countries.
Does England even have a king? I thought they only had queens, but not anymore.
Oh, can I help you?
Sure. Can you give me a smoke? It's been like 4 minutes.
My name is Georgeburg the Third, and
Sounds like you've been smoking too. Give me some of that, boy.
well, I can't because I smoke a pipe because I'm very sophisticated, and
Are you saying I'm smoking a boy?
yeah, well, I'm not better than you because I smoke a pipe. I'm better than you because I'm British. Yeah, I don't know if that really makes you better than anybody. I think that kind of makes you more of a turd burglar. Oh, a turd burglar, you say? I am a historian at the Smithsonian Institute of History and other historical things. and I would like to help talk to you about Mr. Paul Revere.
Are you talking about Paul Revere? Like the guy the Beastie Boys sang about?
You know, I'm pretty sure his name was Mark Revere. Everybody knows his name was Mark Revere. You know, he was. I said howdy, he said hi, kind of thing. And I don't really think that.
Exactly.
I don't think the Beastie Boys were really. They were not. They didn't become relevant until 1984. So what do you think about that, Mr. Jeff Cooper?
Hey, that was my time to talk. Shut up, Mr. British guy.
What?
I think the Beastie Boys were exactly right. They had Paul Revere in his quart of beer with a horse or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, as I was saying, Mark Revere. Oh no, oh no, King Mark III. Oh, his name was King George. Yeah, whatever. I don't care about. And so, you know, I can see that it's Joe Clapp Gardner. I can see that he's talking, but his audio is all messed up. I'm pretty sure that he is nobody on the podcast can hear him. I think there's something wrong with his audio. But you know, Mr. Mark III was the king of he was the king of Brooklyn, and you know, the king of, I mean England, and
What are you talking about? The king of Brooklyn, England? I don't know, man. I think it was just some guy who was across the pond who we didn't respect, so we threw his tea in the harbor.
You wasted many, many pounds of wonderful British tea that was perfect for the drinking, and then we poured your tea in the harbor because you British people are a bunch of crack smoking, turd cracking butt cheeks.
That's exactly.
And there he goes, Mr. Joe. I can't hear anything you're saying. You're waving in and out like you're spinning around in a microwave.
Okay.
Yeah, I cannot hear a single thing you're saying there, Mr. Cooper, or now whatever Mr. Junior producer man.
Okay, well, get out of here.
I cannot stand you American fools. You're a bunch of, I don't know what the correct term to we would use is, because this is a PG rated show and I can't use the words that I want to use because my mother listens to this. And hey, I don't care what you say. You can't say anything much worse than Mel Stanley's ever said on this show.
That's exactly right. And I mean, we talk about smoking and a lot of other stuff out here, so I don't know why you couldn't just let it loose.
I would prefer that you didn't let anything loose, given the history of Mr. Mark and his beans, and letting things loose could really produce some foul odors in the air.
Speaking of letting loose in history, let's get back to Paul Revere.
Yeah, so King Mark III, he owned this place across this big stinking lake called the ocean, and this place was called America. And all these people, they like to get things from the King of England, and the King of England decided to start taxing all of it, and he
taxes! I don't believe in taxes.
And do you know what he called it? His act? He called it the Stamp Act because he had to put his the stamps of approval on it. So every time that they bought tea, they couldn't send it anywhere without a stamp.
Why were you sending tea in the mail?
Oh, you blithering idiots don't know what you're talking about. I do believe that you have. I'm not from Boston. You can't really disrespect anything that I have to say because everything that I have to say is correct. Don't you think, Joe?
Yeah, Joe agrees. I kicked him out like 4 years ago. He's not even here anymore. He doesn't know nothing about history.
Wow, Mr. John Cena Cooper, I think you really need to stop smoking so much because
Yeah,
you see, you're
this is
coughing
not
up.
good. I can't do this. This isn't good for my health. I think I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. The hospital.
He's going to hospital to go get his lungs repaired to take out all of the phlegm and black materials inside that are probably made out of wood and paper and I don't know, probably some silo droppings and
From you British, Paul. Yeah, just because you smoke a pipe and your lungs are black from something else doesn't make you any better than me.
I am not better than you because I smoke a pipe. I'm better than you because I'm British and we invented
Okay.
everything.
Well, why did you lose the war?
Well, actually, that is a pretty great question, but you're getting a little bit ahead of the story. So after King Mark III puts the Stamp Act on all this so that the Americans can't get tea from England without paying for the stamps. You see, that's why it's called the Stamp Act.
But what about the Tea Act? Wasn't there something about some Tea Act?
No, I believe you are thinking of, I don't know what you're thinking of. You made it quite clear that you don't think about much of anything.
Yeah, you're probably right. The cigarettes probably fried my brain cells along with my lungs and the rest of my body. I'm just all black inside. But anyway, Paul Revere, he was a man. I consider myself kind of a history buff myself. Back in high school, when I had to do a lot of those book reports, you had Paul Revere, and he was something in a quart of beer. I don't know how the song goes, but he was writing, and then something about throwing tea in the harbor. Wasn't that tea in the harbor?
Well, actually, you're getting a little bit mixed up, but you're kind of right. So after the Americans realized they had to pay for all these stamps, they were like, "No, this is ridiculous." So my great grandfather Mark Revere and all of his what you call it, chums and friends and stuff like that, they went to Boston and they took all this tea and they poured it in the harbor.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Tea in the harbor. Yeah, that's what the British guys were doing when they saw the tea in the harbor. They're like, "That's good tea," and then they didn't know what to do after that because
Yeah.
the ships were clean.
So they poured all the tea in the harbor and they really pissed the British off. This tea! You're wasting wonderful tea. Yeah, just like this idiot. And then they took all the tea and then all the British were like, we probably got to do something about these Americans. If they're going to pour tea in the harbor, they're probably going to revolt even more. And you know what happens when people want to revolt, right?
Yeah, they start looking like me.
You have it 100% correct, sir. No one wants to look like you, and no one wants to look like an American because the Americans are a bunch of sloppy, fat-eating pigs.
Well, at least we're happy. We're not like some stuck-up British guy with some weird accent.
Yeah, he makes a really good point there once again there, my British comrade.
See, we have McDonald's. What do you guys have?
We drive on the left side of the road. Thank you very much.
Nah, that makes us superior because we drive on the right side of the road. Or
I have a family member who lives in Asia and they just drive on all the sides of the road. I don't think they even know where they're going. They're just driving all around. Especially you're going to get yourself fired, sir, you stereotyping racist little pig. I never said that I was racist. I just said that you can't say anything bad about the Asians no matter how bad they are at driving.
yeah, those Asian guys are great.
So anyways, after they poured the tea in the harbor, the British started preparing for war, and then Mac from Boston got all of his friends together, and they started they were building an army in case the British ever came, and they called themselves the Second Men. The Second Men.
Yeah, the second men. They're kind of like the first, except they were the second.
Oh, you idiots! They were called the Hour Men because it took them an hour to get anything done.
Nah, they were way quicker than you. You guys had to come all the way across the pond. We were already here.
Yeah, actually, I think he's got something right there. Hey, it's Rick from Tony. I'm not from Boston, and I don't know much about Rick Tony, even though we worked together quite a bit. Yeah, we worked together, and I don't think his name was King Mark III. His name was actually King George III. His name was George, much like you, Mr. George Bird.
See, you're basically as good as an American, except your name's not, except your name's George. So you're basically the same thing.
I don't think you know what you're talking about there, Mr. American.
I believe I proved up to this point that I know nothing what I say, and whatever comes out of my mouth, I am not responsible for.
I feel the same way about the not responsible thing. But so King George III created the Stamp Act. Oh, we've already talked about the Stamp Act for 25 some minutes now, and I'm ready to talk about the good part when we started shooting people.
Hey, let's just so we've covered the Boston Tea Party Harbor thingy, and we've covered the Stamp Act. What kind of other stuff do we have to cover? What is left?
Well, actually, then Paul Revere and some other the New England Patriots. So Paul Revere.
Tom Brady. Are we talking about the greatest Patriots? Or are we just talking about Mac Jones, like the Patriots who suck?
No, we're actually talking about Drew Bledsoe.
Oh, even worse.
Anyway, so Paul Revere and Drew Bledsoe got a local army together, and they called themselves the Minutemen.
Oh yeah, we all know how we feel about the Minutemen. Those guys, they were ready in I think under a minute. That's why they were the Minutemen. Is that right?
My girlfriend used to call me the Minuteman, but then I realized that was not exactly a good thing, and then a whole lot of other things happened, and then a couple of years later, we were driving down the road this one time, and then all of a sudden there was this guy driving in the wrong side of the road, and he was swerving all over the place, and I looked in his window, and yeah, of course, look at that. He's definitely not from America. He was some sort of, I don't know what I'd call him, but he definitely was from. It was probably from. You keep digging yourself into a hole about this whole Asia thing. I think. Are you a racist, sir?
What do we have to do with this story at all? That was like in World War II. That was way down the road.
So anyways, the Minutemen were preparing for that if the British ever invaded America, because Britain did own America, but the Americans were like not happy about it. And so the Minutemen were prepared to fight the British off so that they could, become free from Britain because they wanted to become their own country.
Yeah, we wanted to be independent from those stuck-up Britain fools.
Oh, I beg your pardon, sir.
That proves my point.
How many historical degrees do you have in your closet?
None, because I'm American. I go to McDonald's. See? I'm so
as much as I do enjoy McDonald's, I don't see how that's relevant to this story, sir.
America's great. McDonald's is relevant to every story that involves America.
Anyway, so I don't know what you're talking about, what McDonald's even is. So then after these Minutemen created their army, they had to be prepared for that if the British ever invaded. So that Mr. Mark Revere one night was riding around on his horse. Are you sure that it was a horse? Because I'm pretty sure he was on a moped.
Yeah, he was on a moped. He was in a moped gang. Those were big back in the beginning of the country, you know. Moped gangs rule the world.
Yes, the Hells Angels on mopeds. I think that's what they were. Ugh, are you done ruining this piece of history? Can we now get to the Great War that the British fought long time?
Yeah, you fought and you lost. Tell us how you lost.
You know, I think he makes a very good point there, Mr. George Berg. I think that me and George Cooper over here, we could make a good team because you see, I've never worked with this man in my life because I'm Mark for Boston. I don't even know who this guy is, but I'm pretty sure that me and him, we are on the same paper book here.
Yeah, we're basically brothers from a different mother that we didn't know about, and
Yeah.
we're like two peas in a cornstalk.
Yeah. So I know your mother very well. Anyways,
You know, straight from this British guy. Does he have anything, any better insight from the side that lost? Why did you lose? I have not heard an explanation yet.
so oh, excuse me, I had a couple when I got home. So
It's okay, you're American.
So what happened was that well, actually, we're gonna get to that part of the story. Yeah, we gotta get to that part of the story because so here's Mr. Macrovie. He's riding around on his horse, and he comes up to this he's riding through New York, and he sees the Twin Towers, and their lights are blinking, and so that's how he knows that they know that the British are coming.
Yeah, exactly. Because that, you know, what if I led to it by seeing something or other, ride my horse to the opposite side?
Yeah, so he takes his horse to the old town road, and
When down roads, no horses.
okay, I forgot. He took his moped to the new city road,
That's what I'm talking about, because we're American.
and so he's riding across the land, uh, looking for some man, and then so he's riding, and he's going to warn other people that the British are coming, and then he stops at this one place, and he was getting kind of thirsty, and so he's like, now what do we have here? And then I would like another beer, and then
Yeah.
he did it like lifts, and then he did it like that.
And then he did it with his wiffle ball bat that exists because he was a professional wiffle ball player. That's the side of Paul Revere that no one knows about.
I don't think you know what you're talking about. In 1775, they did not have wiffle ball bats, and they did not have mopeds, and there were no one near the city of New York, and the Twin Towers had not been constructed yet, and you are all a bunch of blundering fools.
Well, you know, I tend to believe you because you sound like you're as old as dirt, so you were probably there. You were probably one of the first fools who shot the guys at the Boston killing thingy.
Sir, how old are you actually? That is none of your business. I am as old as I want to be and as young as I could ever be, and I am as middle-aged as a hickory tree, and
You know, you better quit talking so we can finish the story while you're still alive.
Yeah, he's got a good point. If you're as old as a hickory tree, you're gonna croak any time. Yeah, so anyways, so he's riding across this land, and the sun is beating down on his baseball cap, because he's just been playing wiffle ball. And so as he's riding along, he what do you say? Oh yeah, he stopped to get the drink, and then he punched the piano player in the face, and then so he keeps riding, and he's riding and riding and riding, and after a little while, he came across this one. There's a little small group of red-coated people.
Yeah, the red-coated freaks.
That was almost racist, but I will let it pass.
It's
Yeah.
okay. I'm not racist.
Yeah, no, I'm not from Boston, and I'm not racist either. I just have a really hard time with Asian people sometimes. Mr. Boston, you really need to stop with the Asian people, because what would happen if an Asian person heard this and didn't like what you were saying? Do you think that what would you do about that? What are they gonna do about that? They probably can't even reach. You know what, Mr. Mark, get out. You are fired, sir. I don't think
Yeah,
that,
you can no longer tell your story about your ancestors.
but I'm Mark from Boston. You can't fire me. You know, I'm the famous Mark from Boston. I had a baby one time. You know, one day I was riding along on a donkey, and I had the King Mark from the third.
Are
And
you saying you're transgender?
don't even get me started about transgender people. They're like Asian. Okay, Mr. Mark, you get out now. Oh, that man was a complete fool. I'm so glad we have all civilized people now.
Yeah, really old. Like,
Okay, Mr. Tony, me and you are the only civilized people here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I agree. You are like at least 1,000 years old. Oh, fine. I'm the only one who knows anything.
well,
So,
since you gotta just tell the story. You're the one who was there. Tell it from your point of view, man.
so Mr. Revere was riding his horse, and as he was riding, he was warning people of nearby towns, because he rode from the town of Boston, where that horrible fool Mark was from, and he went to Concord. I believe it was Concord, Massachusetts.
Are you sure about that? I think you're British and don't know your geography.
I don't really know. I've never been to America because I'm superior in every way possible, because I'm British, and because the
I think
American.
we should stop. Let's turn it over to Rick Tony. Rick Tony, continue the story.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, he rode.
Okay, you're done. Go back. Bring back the British guy. I don't like Rick Tony's voice.
Okay, well, I don't understand why you don't like one, but then you do, and then you don't. You were
Where's
very.
Mark? Bring back Mark.
No, we're not bringing him back because he was making fun of Asian people, and I think he
See,
both.
now you're making fun of Asian people, so well, you're just as bad as he is.
I was not making fun of anyone. I'm very open-minded about a lot.
You were making fun of everyone. Yeah, even when
I don't make fun of
you
everyone.
just admitted.
You know what? You are as close-minded as he is. I'm very open-minded. I did vote for Hillary a couple years ago, and that really opened up my mind to a lot of things.
Yeah, that's probably because you had open brain surgery. That really opened your mind.
You're probably one of those guys that voted for Donald George Trump because you thought eagles and guns and crocodiles.
Yeah, and I don't know when to shut my mouth.
Oh, now I finally agree with you, Mr. Cooper. That idiot you had in the White House was quite the dummy. Unlike you fools, switching leaders every 4 years, I have had the same queen for 80 some years until she.
It's okay. We sympathize with your loss of a queen. We don't have a leader right now anyway.
Oh wow, that's really hurtful. What if George Biden is listening right now and he hears this and his heart is broken by your horrible things that you're saying about him?
I'm okay with it. I know where I sleep.
Uh right. So, where were we? Yeah, so Paul Revere, he warns the people that the British are coming, and the people hear it, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then what about the war? Was there a war?
Oh, I don't want to talk about the war. First, you bring
Oh,
up.
let's talk about the war. He loves the war.
Yeah, so the war went on for, I believe, like, 8 years, I think, because it ended in 1783, I think, and I'm pretty sure that America won, but it
Wait,
was.
was our independence on the 1776?
Yeah, so the Continental Congress met on July, I think, 2nd or 3rd, and then they met for a few days, and then they wrote the Declaration of Independence and sent it to King George III, and they declared their independence on July 4th of 1776. But however, after that, King George was he didn't really appreciate it, and they kept warring for the next 5 to 7 years.
You know, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yes, and then a few years later, after America had become a colony, and they added a few more colonies to it, because they had the original 13. Well, then they added some more, and then there was the War of 1812, where the British decided that they wanted to come back and do some more warring, but they lost that one too. And
Sounds like the British are really bad at war.
Oh, might I remind you, sir, that in the later years of 1913 to 1917 or so, we helped you in World War One. Well, actually, you helped us in World War One.
See, again, another example why you're bad at war. We beat you, and then you need our help to beat someone else. We are far superior.
But might I remind you that in 1939, when the Nazis were invading England, we required your help. Oh, crap.
See, you guys suck.
When it is put that way, the British are really bad at war.
That's what I'm saying. You lost the big one, then you lost a lot of other ones, and then you would have lost the other ones if we didn't help you.
Oh my goodness, I believe I'm going to become Canadian.
Oh no, now he's just gonna be a nice guy.
You know what they say about Canadians? They're very nice people. All they ever do is say they just use their free health care, and they drive pretty nice, and they have open wavy grain in Manitoba or something like that.
Hey, are you thinking about being Canadian, Rick? Are you Canadian?
No, I'm not Canadian. I'm from, I can't remember, but back in 1985, there was two guys, and they had this one car that was a British made car. Well, actually, they were kind of made in Ireland by a man named John, and he had a big chin. And John DeLorean made a car that really was doing quite horribly.
Yeah.
And then Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg made a movie featuring the car, the DeLorean, and then they went back in time, and then they went to the future, and then they went back to the future.
Wait, are you saying that that all those cars after that movie came filled with a time traveling machine?
No, the car company still went bankrupt.
Wow. Another great example of British superiority.
Might I remind you that Lewis Hamilton is one of the greatest Formula One drivers the world has ever seen, and he is from Britain. How do you like them apples?
Well, what's that for stopping guy? What's his deal? I don't know if he's American, but he's not British.
Yeah, he's not British. I can't remember where he's from, but yeah, I don't know about that guy either. And I believe that Michael Schumacher was just as good, if not better, than Lewis Hamilton. And where was Michael Schumacher from?
Where was he from? I don't study racing.
He's from Germany. Right. And so, if we look back through history,
the Germans had to require some help last time they had to beat the Germans, and the British, who did they ask for help last time?
They had to come to us, great Americans, the superior race.
Right. So I think if we had an American go drive in a British race car, that they would defeat the Germans.
We should probably make that happen.
Oh, you idiots! I can't handle this anymore. I am leaving.
See? Superiority. We have outlasted him. The British lose another war.
Yeah, I don't know what this show is happening to this show. Well, because once again, Mel Stanley's not here, and I don't know what we were supposed to be covering today. I think we were supposed to be talking about the upcoming NFL something, but I'm also gonna go home because I miss my mom.
Yeah, I agree. In a roundabout way, kids, all you should do is remember that the British are coming and that you don't have to worry about it.
Right, that works for me. All right, bye, Joe. I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good.
Well, I think our
Ooh,
recording is in progress.
good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, but we'll edit that out. Don't worry about it.
Oh, of course, of course.
Mm-hmm.
All the editing we do, it's
Oh, yeah.
insane. The amount of time we put into this.
If we put in the amount of time we put into editing, if we put that into literally anything, we would be good at nothing.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But speaking of being good at stuff, we got to shout out one of our boys.
Let us do it. Which
We
one?
got to shout out Mr. John Beaverton.
Oh yeah, John Beaverton from where was he from? Alabama.
No, I think it was from, wasn't he Tennessee?
Oh yeah, no support. No,
Yeah, exactly.
No, he wasn't from Tennessee. I don't remember where he's from, but he's some punk little turd kid that we found on Instagram, bad mouthing us. So
Man,
John,
unbelievable.
if you are listening to this, if you tell us that you heard this, we'll send you a free T-shirt.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
As long as you pay for it, we'll send you it.
Yep.
Free.
Speaking of T-shirts, want some more shirts?
Yeah. You got to let us know if you want merch because we don't have any, but we could make some.
We could make like custom license plate cover thingies.
We could. We probably won't, but we could.
How would you like a giant flag with our faces on it?
That'd actually be kind of cool. I want one of those.
Or 2 tall boys bumper stickers.
That's even better.
You know those stick figure stickers people got on there back
Yeah.
windows? We get like those.
Yeah.
They've got their family and then us. Because we're part of your family.
Yes.
Bill
Or
Clifton's a part of your family. He just doesn't want you to know about it.
Bill Clifton is always present.
If you have a tool shed, Bill Clifton is there.
Yeah, this is why you should never have a tool shed.
Amen, sister. Just buy a toolbox.
It's cheaper and easier to, yeah.
You can't put anything that big in it.
I don't know. Bill Clifton would find a way.
In my toolbox, you might be able to have a big toolbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, seriously, if you want merch, tell us what you want, and we could maybe possibly make it. And
Right.
you could possibly have it.
You could. So let us know. I know I want new merch.
I do too. So we want you to pay for it. Or we could get a shirt that says, I'm not happy to see you. I just won the Bowie lottery.
Yeah, there's so much potential.
Get a Bowie lottery shirt. What are your ideas? Send us your ideas for what you want to put on a shirt or a bumper sticker.
Yes. Or a flag or
a 2 tall boys tattoo.
Ooh. We could even make mugs.
Ooh, I like mugs.
Like you know, they could be drinking their coffee, and all of a sudden we're just staring at them.
But it's like in the bottom, so you finish your Coke or your tea, or whatever, and like, hello. Or we get a giant banner that just says, "Boom!" Hey. Or however
Yes.
Mel Stanley does that.
Something like that. But yeah, for sure. Speaking of the Bowie lottery, though,
Oh yeah, who won this week?
the numbers are coming in. I see you seeing this? 7,
I've got an 8,
4,
22.
1,809.
Wow, that's a big number. I
Yeah.
have 2.
Huh. And the winner is Logan Welsh.
Ooh. What? Wait, maybe what if? Do you think our winner from last week could share with Logan? Like, what if they double up winnings? Like,
I mean,
do we
they
allow
could.
that?
Well, it's not technically what we allow because Bowie is now Logan's property. So it's really what Logan
Oh.
allows.
Well, and I heard that geographically they're not too far off, so
Yeah. I mean,
Logan, it'll be easy for him.
he's sitting in business.
Well, if you're sitting in business, that means you should probably wipe and then get out of there.
Well, right.
Don't stand up and wipe because that's wrong and weird.
Yes, we covered that last week.
I know, but I was just reminded. Did you ever try pooping the other way?
No comment.
Oh, wait, I think you did. Did you?
I did. Not as nice as people think.
Did you try pooping in the tank?
No, I missed. That was why it's not as nice as people think.
I meant in like the upper part of the toilet.
Oh, no, not yet. I was gonna save that for your house.
Hey, buddy. I think I've locked my door and I'm packing.
Yep. But speaking of packing, you seen the boss around?
I did. I saw him a couple of days ago
Yeah,
because I took him to the airport.
right.
Actually, you will never believe where he's going. Well, wait.
Well, I mean, no, I probably won't. It's probably somewhere exotic.
No, he went to Boston.
Did he go to visit Mark? Wait, did he go to have a tea party?
Yeah, he's actually drinking tea, and also when he's not drinking tea, he's preparing to run the Boston Marathon.
Ooh,
But that's
I can't.
yeah, that's all the info I got.
Huh.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Dang it, almost.